Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Morning Howdy. And like every episode, howdy. So, this is the finale of the Donald J. Trump impeachment. He got away. And I don't mean got away like he did something bad. I mean, he got away from a sham that the Democrats were trying to put him under for something he didn't even do. They tried to say he abused the power. Now, obstruction of Congress. But you know what? When they voted, he voted. There was more votes of a no than a yes. And whenever I was watching this is very interesting. They had the Republican side and the Democratic side. So when I was watching this, every time they would call a senator's name and they would say guilty or not guilty, they would mark not guilty or guilty, but they would show if that person was a Democrat or a Republican. Every single Democrat said he was guilty. Every single Democrat. There was not one Democrat who said he was not guilty. And that blew my mind. It blew my mind. Because what does that mean to me when I see that? It means they all partied up together and they all decided as a whole that they wanted him to be guilty. And then there was the Republican side. It was pretty much the same thing. But the Republican side had one or two votes of guilty. And it was one of them was Romney. You know, he switched his vote. But he only voted on one of them, and that was the abuse of power, not the obstruction of Congress. So he only voted once on the guilty side. But what it shows you is that the Democrats all stood together on the guilty vote no matter what the evidence was. And the Republicans stayed on their side, no matter what the outcome was or whatever they saw. And they had the independent ones, and all the independent people picked guilty. And I don't know why they picked guilty, but I do know why all the Democrats picked guilty, and I know why all the Republicans said not guilty. The Republicans, even the people, I knew. All the reporters were talking about it. Everyone generally knew he wasn't going to be impeached. Everyone saw the evidence. Everyone who was keeping up with a logical mind. I was looking at this debate logically. Straight logically. And I just didn't see enough evidence. Wouldn't make sense to me that the first impeachment that I ever watched, that this guy is going to get impeached by the evidence that I was presented. If I was in the jury and if I wasn't there, I would say not guilty, even if I was a Democrat. Because even I don't base my opinion of who I am. I base my opinion on the truth and only but the truth. And whenever people were seeing all the evidence and knowing all the truth, yeah, they didn't have enough witnesses. Maybe that would have changed something. Maybe if they had enough evidence. But the fact is, the Democrats rushed to have the impeachment because they didn't know any other way to get rid of Trump. They didn't want him to be in the next election because they feared him winning again. And it's true. He's most likely going to win from my knowledge of the situation. I'm not biased of the opinion. I'm not even that big into politics. But from what I see, he's going to be running another 4 years. And you know what? I don't have a big deal with it. I'm not going to cry about it. I think the facts that he states. So after no, it was actually before the final votes. He had a little speech, State of the Union or something like that. And in his speech, he was saying all the things that he's done. Making everything better and the best it's ever been. He stated at least 20 things that his presidency has done and has accomplished more than any other presidency. And I thought that was amazing. And everyone there was clapping for him. It was so funny that the right side, I know on the screen I'm on the left, so I'm gonna try to switch it up. So on the right side, it was all Republicans, and on the left side, it was all Democrats. And every time people were clapping, dude, no Democrats were clapping. Literally, it was like they were there just to show their hate. It was weird. It was very weird to me, and it also looked kind of weird how there was a bunch of white suit wearers, right? They all had a little gang, and they're like, we're gonna wear white suits. And who was that lady that ripped up the Polinelli, something like that? She ripped up the paper on national television. You can't do that. You can't just do that. Literally, you can't. So I don't know what's going to happen to her, but she made a statement. She's like, I'm upset, and everyone's going to know about it. She kind of threw a little tantrum on national television. But anyways, back to the impeachment. So they all voted. It was like a 53 to a 47 and a 52 to a 48. It was something like that. And, Trump was not going to be impeached. All right? And that was it. That's the conclusion. That's the finale of what this impeachment process came down to. So let me tell you what happened afterwards. So after the impeachment happened, Donald Trump today decided to have a little speech. And man, this speech was straight off the top of his head, because it was more of like a celebration speech. He was thanking all the lawyers, all the Republicans. He was thanking all these people. And he was constantly describing how the other side were liars, how, they're bad people. He was pretty much saying like, these are really bad people. These are corrupt people. Even though it's not because they're Democrats, it's because of what they did. He was saying Adam Schiff, it was Schiff, is a terrible person. He kept on saying these things. What he thought personally, like there was corruption, everyone was against Trump before he was president, and they didn't want him to be president again. When I stated on my first video, it seemed to me like the Democrats, like they were the victims of Trump, like they were like being bullied by him. They seemed so hurt, and it didn't even make sense to me. And it makes sense to me when Donald Trump says that they're corrupt, that blah blah blah. He's saying all these things bad about them, and it's because what is Trump saying against them? What is Trump doing? Trump is just trying to be a president, man, the best president he can be, and he's having these people putting him down left and right. It's unfair. It's unfair that they're doing all this stuff to Trump because they don't want him. The Democrats ganged up against him. They devised a plan, and they even stated that they were stating a lot of biased opinions on the Democrat side when they were giving out their opening argument, and I even noticed it. It seemed to me like a lot of this stuff wasn't scripted. It was just off the top of their heads. It wasn't written down, and that to me was enough evidence from my observation of this trial that the Democrats, man, there was something fishy about them. Why don't they have clear-cut evidence? Why are they talking so much about the same points over and over again? It didn't make sense to me. But whenever I hear all this about corruption and Trump is stating the fact that he got away, not get away, but he was graced, that the truth of it is that he wasn't meant to be impeached, that these people out here are just mixing on information. They're doing whatever they can, right? It's not because he really did something bad. If he really did something bad, man, he would be impeached. Straight up, he would be impeached, and everyone knows it. But he didn't do anything bad. And they try to make something little into something big that shouldn't have been. So to all those Republicans out there, man, I bet you're happy. And all those Democrats, hey, don't get sad, man. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't really do anything wrong. And if you were to watch the whole election, man, they proved their points. And the reason why the lawyers of the president didn't need to talk as much as the Democrats, man, is because they didn't need to prove anything. Everything was proven already. All the evidence they were showing was a sham investigation, dude. I know that's my opinion about the topic. I guess I'm spitting my own opinion. But my opinion is what I observed. My observation of my first ever impeachment of a president, And it's crazy. It's crazy that whenever there's so much disrespect. Because whenever there was the State of the Union meeting or whatever, man, no one was clapping for Trump. They were literally just sitting down. No one was standing up. But they clapped a couple times when he said things that were good for both sides, They clapped. They showed a little appreciation, right? But man, they were showing some disrespect. The ripping of the paper was a mad disrespect, And whenever, he was walking out and on the left side, none of them even wanted to shake his hand. Like, come on. Like, how much can you really hate a person, dude? That's all right. The truth always comes out. The right will always end up being right. It's just how it is, And, the fake will be exposed. And, the president in his speech today, I'm going to call it like a graduation speech or, a happy speech or whatever you want to call it. Man, he was straight up saying that these people are corrupt, that these people are up to no good. He was calling them as bad cops. They're He literally said bullshit, that the shit they're trying to come up with is complete bullshit. He said it on national television, bullshit. You don't hear that from a regular president. And I respect it, because there's no better way. There's no better way to call it besides some bullshit. And I agree with the words, because you know what? All words, even if they're a bad word, doesn't mean it's a bad to say a word if you're getting your point across, right? And nothing but bullshit best explained what these people were up to, man. And that's from my own observation. I would call it bullshit too, 100 times over. What else can you say about the Democrats and what they were trying to pull on Trump? Everyone has their own opinion, man. People are going to maybe not like my opinion. Maybe I'm not explaining my opinion good enough. Even a lot of the news reporters, man, when they were going over this, man, they would even say he's probably not going to get impeached, man. There's more people like me that only want to state what's true. Not everyone is very biased. You know, there's a lot of biased people out there. A lot of people grow up following their beliefs and have to follow those beliefs to the very end, like religion, man. You know, someone's beliefs goes a long way, but when you're dealing with hurting another individual and even hurting the country, he even stated that these people were hurting the country. He was explaining something that's true, because removing a president doesn't just help a person, it destroys it. Taking away a president makes a country look weak. Okay? It makes the people weak by electing someone who's not worthy. It makes our opinion really weak. And the Democrats don't care. They don't care why. They just wanted him gone, and they were going to do whatever it takes. I get it. They wanted to do what they wanted to do, and they do whatever it takes. I would do the same thing in my situation. If I had to do whatever it takes, I'm going to do whatever it takes. But man, if you're going to try to do this and hurt a country, whenever the facts that you're trying to state aren't even that bad. It's not the Clintons. It's not the Nixon. It's not the Jackson case, man. Like, come on. But hey, the finale is the finale, man. He's gonna be running next election. You know, you place your votes how you want. He didn't get impeached. The evidence just wasn't there. You know, all the Democrats said he was guilty, and all the Republicans, besides one or two, said he was not guilty. And that speaks a lot. So they're saying there's more Republicans. Generally, there's more Republicans than Democrats. I don't really know why it's like that. Why they like clearly stated which one is which. It kind of picking sides in a country as a whole is weird to me on its own. It's weird to me that there's still so much division in a country that's supposed to be together. It's weird. But you know, when you pick election, you want to pick the person who's best for the country as a whole, not just for your side. People get caught up and they want their side to win. They want their team to win. That's it. They don't want to think about what's best for the country. And people get so confused on this. They get so confused. And to me, it's just so obvious. Who's going to be the best for the country? Who has the most experience that are going for the office? Who's the one who's going to do the job? My opinion. My personal opinion, Trump, man, he had his own businesses, man. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to make friends. This guy knows what's best because he did it for himself first. And that's the lessons we need to take. Who's the person who's going to make the country as a whole better? Yeah, maybe we don't want bare arms, or we have all these opinions about what Democrats should do and Republicans going to do, but as a whole, man, Trump isn't a bad guy. He is not a bad guy. And he's not... People say he's racist. We all figured out he's not racist, dude. Stop with the racist bullshit. We live in a free country. He works with all different types of colors and everything. We all know this. He's not a bad guy. So, you know... I didn't really know... When I came up here to do this video, I didn't know how I was going to end this topic besides giving him the conclusion. I mean, that's really the conclusion. My opinion was right that he, you know... didn't get impeached. I never thought he was going to get impeached. The fact that he was going to get impeached was a shocker to me to begin with, because I didn't ever hear about anything bad happening, you know. When I heard the Clintons, man, There's something so suspicious over there. And you know what's funny? Donald Trump was talking. He even mentioned the Clintons, man. How all of a sudden, like, a bunch of emails are deleted. The FBI, all this information is deleted. Bad. He was mentioning bad cops and corruption. Who else is gonna know about corruption besides the president? He literally said there's corruption on national television. We're not taking this as his opinion. This is truth. The truth is there is corruption. We all know there's bad cops. We've seen it on YouTube. We've interacted with people all our lives. We know there's bad people out there, man. You know, people, other side could be saying Trump is the bad guy. But what good has he done? He's done a lot of good. He makes good connections with other people. He literally shook hands with the dude from North Korea. He let the dude from North Korea walk on the South Korea side. He made a good relationship. He made something that didn't seem possible. Just think about that concept. And why would he mention all this corruption on TV? While he was congratulating all these people, he couldn't stop. He had to tell after his impeachment. He had to tell the people there's corruption. And that's the main thing that I witnessed from this. The main thing I got from this is that he was not afraid to say the corruption and that the people were saying bullshit and blah, blah, blah. Everyone should go watch what he says. People are going to highlight the most important things. I'm not into the whole highlight. I'm going to discuss the topic. And it's crazy. It's crazy how it is. And, I believe there is corruption. I believe people are doing things only for their personal gain. And Trump isn't one of those people. And you know what? Whenever they were trying to impeach Trump, it wasn't just hurting Trump, man. It was hurting his own family. You don't understand when you try to impeach someone how many people are going to be involved in there. You take people away from their families. And, just because one party, one little group gets together and they think they're going to get it done for their own personal gain. So when I look back at this, man, don't do things for your personal gain. Do things for the whole. Do it for the purpose. Do it for the country, man. Don't just do it for yourself and what you think. And just because you don't get your way, you're going to do whatever it takes to, revolt. Another main thing I got from this is political division. There's a lot of division when it comes to politics. And it's all because people only want to follow what they believe. And if someone doesn't believe what they believe, they don't like the person. And that's just crazy. It's just like religion. It's the same thing like religion, but it's not religion, it's politics. And what's happening in politics is the exact same thing that happened with religion. It's one side going against the other. One side is saying they're right and the other one saying they're wrong, and vice versa. And then what they're trying to say is that's going to be a problem, is this political division. Why are there separate parties? I don't understand why it's been like that for so long. There's literally separate parties. That's its own. It's literally like the Union and the Confederate. That's how I visualize it, and it's wrong. How do we fix this? I don't know. But should it be fixed? Yes. It shouldn't be a division of parties. It should just be nominees doing who's going to do best for the country, and you pick the best one. Why is there Democrats? Why are there Republicans? It's because there's so much division. There's so much separation of what people want. But the people as a whole always speak up. That's why we have a democracy. Democracy. We choose what's best for the country as a whole. And if there's more of the country wanting one thing and then the other, guess what? The majority rules. Okay? And that's how it is with this election. This is how the finale is going to end. Stop the separation, man. We're supposed to be a whole. We're supposed to be a country. We're supposed to be strong. And if we do elect a president, we follow him to the end, man. That's just how it is. That's how it should be. He's not a king, he's a president. There's people that have that's why we have the separation of powers, because no president can be that strong. No, the House, the other separation of powers can't be stronger than the other. And during the open arguments, they were trying to say, that the Democrats trying to put impeach the president. They were trying to say that if you impeach the president, you're giving this side more power. And that's wrong. You're not supposed to give more power. You can't let someone impeach someone for doing something wrong. Doing something right. Because he did something, just because you don't like him, you can't throw him out. That's too much power on one side. It's a separation of power. Everyone should be equal. And the fact that there's even a separation of power, it makes sense, because there's like the judicial branch, yada yada. And they all supposed to work together because they all work on different things. It makes sense. But my opinion on the whole Democrat and Republican, we need to stop that. It's wrong. It's wrong. You know, it's wrong having to pick a side because there's always problems when you pick a side. We know this from history, and and to me, it's so much immaturity. It's people not growing up. It's people not accepting other people's religions. It's people not accepting the other person's skin. It's the same thing, man. It's the same goddamn thing with these politics. And you know, I just saw a video that this dude was screaming bloody murder and that he hopes all Republicans get their necks chopped off because Donald Trump didn't get impeached. Like, this guy was so biased, such a Democrat, that he believes in something so much that he's willing to say these words aloud. And you know, this guy is a little psycho, you know what I'm saying? This guy isn't thinking straight. This guy isn't 100, as a lot of people would say. But it's whatever. It's whatever. You know, everyone's going to be like that. It's just like, I mean, I can give so many examples, man. But like, you know, they were trying to say, you know, who are the people that were founding fathers? They were trying to say that Fredless Douglass and Martin Luther King, they should be considered founding fathers because they all they didn't want the separation. Everyone should be equal. And when it comes to politics, it should be an equal thing too. Maybe in the future it'll change. I don't know. This has been very interesting because I actually learned a little bit more about the subject than I didn't think I ever would, because I took the time to see what both sides were saying. One was just saying, look, why do we need to keep arguing? There's not enough evidence. And you know, that's why one side barely talked compared to the other. Why did Adam Schiff want to be the main speaker and he was literally told someone not to speak? I don't have a video. I'm pretty sure someone could find the video. But he literally, while one of the other people walking up to speak, he was like, wait, stop, like a little child. That's how they were describing him, as a child. Because he was the only one who wanted to speak. He was like, oh, I'm going to do all the speaking for everybody. But man, these guys look like they were like little kids getting bullied their whole lives. I swear, it was just so fishy to me, man. It was so fishy how I guess they were all Democrats. I don't know. This is what I think, I guess. That Adam Schiff and all of them were Democrats. Man, they just seemed so just like unprofessional. Like, if you put your point across, man, that's it. What more do you have to? You keep rambling on and on about the same thing. Like, you keep rambling until someone accepts what you have to say. It's like you keep saying the same thing until someone believes you, even though it's a lie. Like, you don't do that. You say the truth and that's it. If it's not the truth, you don't speak on it. And you know, and then we should take that in life. We should only speak the truth. You know, if someone's rambling on and on, someone's being that biased, man, just let it be. Just let it be, because you can't change some people, man. You can't show them the light side of things. And you know, maybe you would hope for the best that they do. And I'm not saying everyone should be a Republican, everyone should be a Democrat. I'm not really into the whole thing anyways. But always pick the side that's going to help the whole of the country in the best way possible. And right now it's Trump. If I see something else that's going to change my mind, then it's going to change my mind. I'm not telling people who to vote for either. Just know that everyone should be sticking together. Everyone should want the best for the country. And that's pretty much it, man. This is the morning howdy, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe. And you know, the election's coming up. You know, pick who you think is going to be best for the country, not because it's best for your party. Think about that. And until next time, guys, howdy.